guys, and welcome to another mysterious recipe with me and her.
Hi.
So today we are back on our Coffees of the Month series, and if I remember correctly, what you said on our last video about our prompt in March, the farmer sows his fields, prepares the fields, plows his fields. Anyway, you said you wanted a coffee that tastes like the field.
I did.
Shall we insert that snippet here?
I want something about the flavor to have to do, like, and that's what's plaguing me.
Now I'm feeling plagued with
That's
that
plaguing
prospect. She
me.
wants the flavor to be like the field.
Oh, we can't put dirt in our latte, so what are we gonna do?
So after brainstorming and trying a couple different things, we are going to go with a literally inspired by plants and seeds and earthiness. We're gonna do a little something with that. First of all, we have this particular coffee that was given to us by one of our other sisters who got it, and this is the Colombian brand, Colombian version coffee from Global Vistas. And if you open this bag and smell it, tell me what it smells like to you.
Very, very earthy.
It smells like a bag of dirt.
It does not smell like a bag of dirt, but it smells
Kind
very
of.
earthy. You said we're doing a latte, and you know I said I wanted to use my old stovetop espresso maker to make it.
Do you remember how to use that? Okay.
Googaloo can tell us.
Googaloo. Okay.
Googaloo.
So she has an espresso pot that we have never used.
I've used it once, but it's been a hot minute. So
Okay.
I think it would be very nice for the
farmer.
farmer.
Okay.
Give a farmer vibe.
We're gonna make our syrup first, as per usual. That one is going to need to sit for a few minutes because we're going to be putting some different plants and seeds and spices in there that are gonna need time to sit and...
I think the word you're looking for is herbs.
I'm going very literal with the field, thank you very much.
Herbs.
Plants and seeds. Alright, so we have a little pot. Right now we're just gonna put all of our things together for the syrup in the pot, and then we're just gonna bring that to a boil. So let's start putting things in there. We're gonna start off with a half a cup of water. Now, in addition to our water, we're gonna put 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Thank you very much. Where did you even get this giant bucket of brown sugar from?
That was not something I got. I don't know where it's from.
So we still want this syrup to be a little richer, a little darker flavor. We're gonna add about a half teaspoon or so of molasses, roughly. It's okay if it's a little bit more of there. That's gonna give us a little bit more of that farmer note to it. I always think molasses to me is a very much like on the farm flavor. Go ahead and turn your burner on, whatever, to about medium to medium high. We really just want to get this hot, bring it to a boil, and then we're going to cut everything off. Now we're also going to add, we've got some fresh rosemary. We're going to add about 2 to 3 sprigs of that to bring that herbal, fresh plant note in there. And rosemary is a pretty sturdy plant that can put up with a lot of weather. This one's really fluffy, and like this one's got a lot of leaves on it, so we'll stick to 2 stems. And as much as I just love a nice rosemary simple syrup on its own, in coffee I think it needs a little bit more to it. So we're gonna also add, what is it again, planting season. We're gonna add some seeds in there too. I have some whole green cardamom pods. I'm gonna put probably about 5 of those, the seeds out of the pods in there. You can buy ground cardamom at the grocery store in the spice aisle, so you don't have to just like go out of your way to buy the pods unless you already have them or unless you want to. I already have these from using them in different recipes. And I'm gonna break these pods open and just crush the seeds just a little bit so that they'll release some of that flavor.
Then we're gonna do some star anise.
And one or less, because that's a pretty strong flavor.
This is like a broken clove, so it's a little less than one.
So the different spices and all that we're adding in the seeds, I don't want to crush those up to a full powder in this case, since I don't have the pre-ground. We're going to strain out the different bits, so I don't want to go out of my way to grind it super small.
Y'all, I think we're going to Oz today. The house is going to be lifted off by the wind.
And then I'm going to add 3 or 4 cloves in there as well, just to give it a little bit more of a spiced note. So I think this was everything I was going to put. We've got water, brown sugar, rosemary, cardamom, cloves,
And star anise.
Yes. Alright. And our water has already come to a boil. So we really just wanted to heat that up enough to start steeping the flavors out, kind of like you're brewing tea or coffee, and to melt the sugar. Now that it's reached that point, we're going to cut it off. We're going to put a lid on it, and we're going to let it sit for at least 15 minutes so all of those spices can really let their flavors come out into the syrup.
Alright, on to the coffee. So I have this little espresso pot that you put directly on the stove.
No clue how to use this, but it's going to be fun.
So we're going to start it with water.
This is what we pack the grounds into, yes?
Yes, so you're going to start with your water and your base. And then there's this little piece that goes inside the base. You're going to put your grounds in it.
And we usually stick to a little over about a tablespoon per cup of grounds. Ish. Do we want to put a little bit more since we're doing espresso? Maybe like 3 tablespoons in here?
Yeah, since it's not actually, this is just regular coffee. It's not actual espresso coffee.
If we were using the coffee machine, we'd be doing our usual double shot per cup. Since we're using this, I'm not 100% sure how much liquid
We're using it regular. You mean an espresso machine?
Yeah, if we were using your espresso machine like
and
we
if we
do.
had an espresso grind that was earthy, but this is just regular coffee.
I mean, technically you can get away with doing regular coffee in the espresso machine. That does smell very earthy right now.
It does.
Does it smell like the field?
It does smell like the field.
Gonna tamp it down a little.
Yep. Tamp it down. Screw that top piece on. And then you're gonna turn the heat on. Wait for the magic to happen.
I'm gonna have to ask her where she bought this coffee from. I'm sure you can get it on Amazon, so we'll include a link down below of where to get this. So how do we know when the espresso is done? When all the water goes from the bottom to the top?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you know when all the water's gone from the bottom to the top?
It does it like right away. Once it hits boiling, it starts to push it up.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you know when to cut it off?
There's this handy little lid.
Just to see if it's full. I've never used this kind before, okay? There was also one other thing that I was playing with on potentially for this recipe when we get around to steaming the milk. And this is really dependent on how much you want your coffee to just taste like the field, how earthy you like your flavors.
Don't even suggest this. You said it was not drinkable.
It was more drinkable when you cut back on it. I did play around first of all with adding beet powder to the milk before I steamed it, and that very much adds more of that plant earthiness. It's closed.
I know, but it was pointed at my face.
But again, unless you're okay with having a very, very, very strong earthy coffee, either go very light on that or just stick to the base, leave out the beet powder. We might still use that in something else later on. But you can put that in. It will definitely make your coffee very, very earthy.
You can use beet powder to make things pink.
That's true. I gave Frey some pink milk yesterday.
And it would have been great for February.
We were trying a couple different coffee blends, trying to find one that had a good earthy flavor for the base. And the first one that I tried was Sumatran coffee. That everyone online says Sumatran is supposed to have a very earthy flavor. And I was like, okay, that sounds easy enough. I went and bought a bag of that, but that really just tasted scorched to me. So our espresso is done. Now we just need to froth some milk and start assembling our lattes to try and see how it came out.
Get to it.
All right, where is our little, here our little milk pitcher is. I'm just gonna cut that on.
Get some milk glue.
I did want to make this a little more creamy. So do you have some half and half still, actually? Okay. I want to do half and half because with all the earthiness, I think it needs a little more creaminess.
A little more fat.
Yes. Just to really round it out.
Lovely. Alright, we're going to get this milk frothed up with our little steamer on our espresso machine.
I do want to froth this a little bit more since the steamer only froths it but so much. And I do remember last time we used this frother, it spat everywhere. So I'm gonna try to be a little less messy. If you put it further down in?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Our syrup has had a good 15 minutes to steep. I'm gonna go ahead and strain that. So we have our little pitcher of our rosemary and spices, our plants and seeds syrup. Smells good.
You can say rosemary's and spices in me. Alright, we are going to assemble pour the coffee.
How much syrup are you going to want there? Do you want that first?
It doesn't matter.
You can pour a little syrup
I'm going to do about 2 teaspoons of syrup to start us off.
It does look super dark coffee with this, so I think we definitely ended up with a good strong espresso.
Which is what a farmer wants!
Oh yeah, like that is some dark coffee. Alright, and we're gonna top that off with our steamed milk.
I love a dark coffee. I don't know if I'll love this dark coffee because it's very earthy.
Gonna add a little sprig of rosemary on top of each one because we have some left over. Make it look cute. It looks very of the earth.
What are we calling
better?
this one?
So it does look very cute.
The field of fortitude.
Field of Fortitude.
What does fortitude mean?
Something that I do more of right now.
Huh? Fortitude. Time to drink our field of fortitude coffee.
No, we're not calling it that.
Excusez-moi?
For one thing, it feels like way too long of a name.
You named one
Does
a
look
spiced
cute.
maple bacon latte, birthday cake latte, and the last one was, what did
I don't know what we're calling it yet.
Field of Fortitude. It's gonna be on the menu. People are gonna be like, what is a Field of Fortitude? I mean, just s'mores by the fire is just as long as Field of Fortitude. I think that's the name.
Are we taste testing yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
It smells so rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's strong.
The rosemary?
No,
Or the coffee. Yeah, the coffee came out really strong.
It tastes good.
Mm-hmm. I was actually afraid that it wasn't going to be a strong enough
I'm
coffee
sorry.
with as little liquid as was.
How do we
in
make
there.
that coffee taste good?
It does taste better this way than how I've done it before.
We did it just
tastes
as a
less
regular
earthy,
coffee,
actually.
and it tastes way less earthy. It tastes actually.
Yeah, like when we ran this, I've tried this 2 ways. I've tried doing it in a regular coffee maker, and when she wasn't here to yell at me, I also made a double shot of espresso with the same coffee. Sure. Thank you. And both ways, it had a very, very strong earthy flavor. It's nowhere near as strong like this.
I will say, with the strength of the coffee, you don't taste the rosemary too much. So I'm adding another teaspoon to our coffee, so it's gonna be about a tablespoon of the sweetener. I feel like we always end up adding.
Yeah,
more.
and this also isn't a super strong syrup. It's what 3 tablespoons of sugar to half a cup of water. A lot of syrups end up being a lot higher sugar content than that.
This is good.
I think it came together, and I would definitely say still stick to half and half rather than regular milk because the extra creaminess does go a long way.
What do you think, Echo? Do you want to try?
But yeah, it's barely earthy right now. You tried. I made a little of just this particular coffee grounds in the regular coffee pot earlier today, just without this full recipe, and it tasted completely different.
Well, the farmer got this strong coffee. He was like, wait a minute. And he's like, let me try this in my espresso pot. And he found the right way to make it. He's got his earthy coffee without it being...
I mean, of course, not everyone has the espresso pot, but it takes up less space than an espresso machine, and you got it at TJ Maxx for under $20, I believe, right?
Did I?
I know I see them at TJ Maxx all the time.
I don't know
So
where I
think
got
that's where
this
you got
one,
yours.
but...
And they're usually, I think, like between $10 and $15. So they're not expensive. That's so much smoother now.
Of Fortitude.
So the spices definitely aren't a super strong note. Right?
No, but I can taste a hint.
Like you could still add more of the syrup to get
And
a stronger note of
still-
that, but it would be a little sweeter. I think if you want a stronger herbal note, you could cut back the sugar to probably 2 tablespoons when you're making the syrup, so that you can keep adding more of the syrup to add a stronger
You can also cook
flavor.
it down more.
Yeah, you can reduce it. It'll be sweeter.
It still is earthy. Like
Yeah.
the earthiness is not gone. It's a back note now instead of
Yes.
being in
When
your
we're-
face.
Because before that, this particular coffee, when I would do it regularly and then try a little of that, it tasted like the ground, and it always felt like there was a certain earthiness like in the back of my throat that I can't get rid of for half an hour to an hour afterwards unless I go and drink a lot of water after. But this is so much smoother. I like this. Honestly, it's less earthy than I intended at this point, but it is good, so I'm not mad. This does not need to be sweeter, but I am going to add a little more of the syrup just to see how the stronger rosemary and spices note is. I'm gonna add like a teaspoon.
Get it. Annie, my cat is being a little stinker.
And you are not being on camera.
I was trying to catch her for the camera.
Mm.
Oh.
Alright, so that extra teaspoon definitely brought the rosemary note a lot more prevalent.
I like
The
it with
spices-
the tablespoon.
Yeah,
It's perfect.
The spices are very much a light note, but it does still round it out more. Because when I was playing around with this recipe, I made just rosemary as a simple syrup before, and while you're not hardly tasting the other spices, it wasn't as smooth of a flavor by any means. So it's more rounded. This is good. I like it.
I'm just standing here.
So the main note you are getting is the rosemary, but you get just like a faint background hint of the different spices in there. It's definitely not a very strong syrup. I'm gonna try, just to really be able to say more of how the syrup itself tastes, I'm just gonna get the smallest dab on the spoon and see how that is.
Come here.
She's busy chasing down the cat right now, which is why you have like no footage of her.
I've been here the whole time except for tasting. And
The syrup on its own, I bet that would be great in tea.
I've said
Try
tasting.
a little dab of the syrup just by itself. You can just.
Ugh.
I think that would be so good in tea as well. It's mostly rosemary.
Yeah, that'd be good in tea.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna save the rest of that syrup, and probably more so than coffee. Probably put it in.
Do it in a London fog.
But it does taste good. I am happy with that syrup.
Right? Wouldn't that be good in a London
It's a
fog?
bit different. It would be really good in a London fog.
I was trying to show you my cute little child, but she will not be caught right now.
She doesn't like being caught anyway.
Sometimes she's okay with it. She didn't like to be held for a long period of time, but she won't even let me catch her right now.
So would you say that this coffee reminds you of the first spring garden prep? Out there prepping the garden, planting your first seeds?
No.
I don't know. I've been doing a bit of that over the last like 2 weeks, and I would absolutely go inside and drink one of these after.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't go and drink it, but when I think of it, I think more sunshine. This is not sunshine.
There's not really that much sunshine in March.
Do you live in the same state as I do? There's a lot of sunshine.
There's a lot of rain in March.
Oh.
This is definitely, also, this isn't as sweet as of a coffee as the last few that we've done, which is nice. It's more of just a,
Earthy.
it's more of a coffee, rather than like a sweet drink. It is, it's a latte, but the last couple ones we've done have been aggressively sweet. And this is just like a nice coffee to drink when you're starting your day or taking a little break. It's not a huge amount going on with it, but it's a nice. It tastes good. I do like it with that just a tiny hint of molasses in there though. That's nice.
It is good.
I hadn't tried that before today. Oh, I got a hint of the rosemary in that.
All right,
That was
well,
nice.
as always, give us inspiration for the next one.
What is April's line?
Our line for April is, in April, he ties up the trees.
Okay, so something tree related.
So, let's put our thinking caps on.
Well, we know it's what the like October, November one is specifically has to do with hazelnut. It mentions oak, and we saw that snippet on the.
Yeah, we know that
On
one
the
will
little
be
peep of
hazelnut
the-
something.
We saw that on the peep of the cookbook.
Mm-hmm.
So not hazelnut, but something tree related.
Something tree related. We're all gonna put our thinking caps on. And I hope we'll come up with something exciting that you guys can enjoy with us.
Thank you all for your suggestions for this month's coffee. We were definitely racking our brains, and even though we didn't use all the different suggestions that we got, they were very good suggestions. They sounded like fun. They were definitely worth trying.
And they helped inspire us.
Yeah, they helped inspire us. We just ended up getting gifted this coffee by one of our other sisters, and it was so earthy in general that we were just trying to find a way to make that particular coffee work. And again, we'll find out where she got it, or else find an Amazon listing. We'll post that below so that if you want to try this particular coffee that smells like the field, I mean it smells like dirt, it's very earthy. Honestly. You can ask her. I made her try several different combos of it the other day, and she's like, I feel like I'm drinking dirt. I don't really enjoy the taste of dirt.
Alright, well, until next time, we will see you.
Yes. Be thinking trees, trees. But yes.
Trees.
And if you hate rosemary at all, still feel free to try some other or field inspired coffees and let us know below what you did for the month of March. You don't have to do the exact same one. This is just what we ended up with here.
All right.
But this was fun. I enjoyed it.
Always fun to try
And
new
I
coffee.
will definitely be either tonight or tomorrow trying some tea with that rosemary syrup. I think it's going to be phenomenal. And I'll let you know how it is when I do try it.
All right.
Because I'm pretty sure that's going home with me.
All right. Arrivederci.
Bye till next time. Mystery time.
There's a mystery.